I'm genuinely upset. I really wanted to say good things about this game, but unfortunately the writing insults my intelligence every chance that it gets. No, it's not the skating. No, it's not the art style. Let's talk about the real reason why Skate period sucks. What's up guys, my name is Goohee. I make commentary style videos on the latest games released, and of course today we'll be talking about Skate. I've been racking my brain trying to figure out who their target audience is for this game, and I landed somewhere between idiot and toddler. The game talks to you like if it was a kindergarten teacher trying to be cool using slang that they don't really understand. And if you think I'm exaggerating, I shit you not. Keep it raw dog street yo is a line word for word said in the game. I say some pretty dumb shit, but I'm pretty sure that tops the charts, bro. And they're dead serious about it too. They try to teach you skater lingo, like explaining that footy means footage. No shit, I think anybody that speaks English would have been able to put that together with context clues.
Anywhere can be a spot. All you need is your skater eyes to see the potential and quick drop to make it happen.
If they tell me to use my skater eyes to find a skater spot one more time, I'm gonna use my skater feet to jump headfirst into skater concrete. Speaking of getting hurt, you don't, because science. They actually had the audacity to make it canon that a company created a serum that makes you indestructible. And they did it specifically for skaters, because if you have the technology to cure cancer, skaters need to be able to bail without getting hurt first. It's called priorities, okay? I don't know, it's silly to be mad about this, but it doesn't feel like the world is built as if you're part of skating culture and that's everything to you as a player, as a skater within the game. It feels like it's built as if the world itself is only made for skaters. That's the only type of person that lives on this planet, which would have been fine had it been done in a more satirical tone rather than being dead serious about the cringe shit that is said. I don't understand how this game is even rated T for T and not E for everyone. They went so far as to bleep out a curse word by saying the word bleep. What the bleep is wrong with them for fucking trying to— I can't even say it without wanting to explode. What was that? Let me not crash out over this dumb shit. I personally like it when skating is a little bit more underground. Like if you're in it, it's everything to you. There's a whole network of people that know all the spots, but if you're not, it's almost like it's taboo because it's, you know, illegal. One of my favorite skate games is Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, a game where skating is so underground they had to build a skate park made of stolen shit in a dump. That's definitely not how it's treated in this game, but it's also not how it was treated in Skate 3. The biggest difference between the two, though, is that one is cringy and the other one actually made it work. It all comes down to the writing. Back in the early 2000s, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, or however it goes, skateboarding games were kind of like the king of video games. The Skate series itself nudged its way into the skateboarding games in 2007 as Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was kind of losing steam, so they took advantage of the timing. They brought a fresh feel to the skating games with the flick control scheme in an open world street skating simulator thing. The flick control scheme was actually really cool. It was really neat because it gave you a mimic of what the board would feel like if you skateboarded with your thumbs. That sounds dumb when I say it out loud. Skate 2 came in 2009 and it refined the game a little bit, expanding on tricks and letting players move objects to build custom skate spots, which I think was genius, by the way. And it encouraged community growth with people sharing their own skate videos in their built-in editor. People were really going around going, look at my skate video that I made in this video game. It sounds silly, but it was actually really cool, and it built an entire community around it. Skate 3 came out in 2010, one of the most highly anticipated and asked for games, and it shifted to a little bit of a brighter city, leaned even more into the community, and offered team-based gameplay and park creation tools and blah blah, all that fun stuff. Basically, all three games brought funky physics, memorable soundtracks, and skate culture that it created through its user-generated content. It honestly made the Tony Hawk franchise shake in its boots a little bit. With a fucking history lesson out of the way, let's get back into Skate and why it's ruining the franchise. I'm kidding. It's not bad. I was being harsh. The game itself takes stupid long to get going. The tutorial is like in Nintendo games where they're all rated I for idiots and every little thing has to be over-explained. Here's how to do an ollie, which by the way is just this motion. That's it. Wow, you are doing so good. Check out this slow motion replay of you doing 3 ollies. It really could have been simplified to teaching you the basics, which would have taken at most 3 minutes, and then going into side quests later on that teach you more advanced shit. If it had been done like that, it would have made the game fun right away instead of taking an hour and a half to get to anything interesting. I do think this was done on purpose. I think it's a tactic to keep people in the game for a little bit longer, and it happens a lot with sandbox free-to-play titles, but the issue with it is that it adds quantity and not quality, which is really fucking annoying. It also may not reflect well on reviews because the people that don't have the patience to stick through it to the point where it actually gets fun will think the whole game is like it is in the beginning, and the beginning is not good. The only good thing I can muster up to say about this part of the game is that it takes you through the map, it guides you through the map, which is actually really well designed. I can at the very least appreciate the gameplay and the arcade aspects of it. I think the map is probably one of my favorites, which is crazy to say because this is an EA game, but they do have a good mix of park and street skating, and it's designed really well and it's pretty to look at, I guess. I don't know. There's fast travel points sprinkled throughout that make it easy to get to your favorite spots, and the skating is just honestly fun. It's not so much a sim, but an arcade sandbox filled with silly physics, a bunch of shit to see, climb, and skate through, and it may be a little bit repetitive as far as shit to do. I think it would definitely benefit from a story mode of some sort that doesn't feel like a tutorial and some competitions here and there, but gameplay-wise, it's really fun. I did notice it was a little bit forgiving, more forgiving than I'm used to. You can land way more sketch than you should be able to without bailing, but that's honestly fine by me. It makes it a little bit easier for me to have fun since I suck. I do miss the emphasis on bailing, like how brutal it used to be in the old games. It's definitely toned down in this one, but one thing they did keep was the silly. Rolling around like an idiot, free falling off buildings, watching other people do it in the world around you. It definitely caters for a lot of moments where I found myself giggling like a schoolgirl.
Welcome to the Magical Musical Mystery Tour. That's a mouthful. Who named that? This tour is a bit of a journey.
But for a game that emphasizes multiplayer so much by not having an offline mode, it really lacks a lot of multiplayer features. Proxy chat, for example, would do this game absolute wonders. I think proxy chat would be fucking hilarious in this game, but it doesn't even have a text chat yet. I say yet because I'll get to it. The head-to-head stuff is really simple and dumb. It's kind of like a time trial for who can get the highest score within this circle. There's no death race, no skate, or any other mode that would have made interacting with other people actually fun. When you're in a party with others, there's just no feel like you're playing together. It just feels like you're solo, but next to others that are playing solo, which is just an indicator of how there's no real incentive to play with your friends. The biggest problem is that this is not a skate game, okay? And I know that's a little bit of a bold claim, but it feels like it doesn't have any connection to the previous games other than the name. I personally think that EA is using the rights to this IP to continue this as a sequel because they know it'll make it more popular. Now, let me be clear before I just jump into calling it a cash grab or cash cow. I do feel like this game has a lot of potential. It's not a bad game. It's just that they did it a disservice tacking it on as a sequel, because when you bring in a game that already has a huge following, the people that are expecting this style of gameplay and the traditions from the previous games to be continued are going to be utterly disappointed when they're not. There's no meat system, there's no pro skaters featured, there's no story mode, there's no death races. You can't play skate in a game called Skate. It's just missing the mark on a lot of skate culture. And when I say that, I mean it in two different ways. Skate culture in general and skate culture as far as the games. And by the way, I found out that there are technically pro skaters in Skate period, but they're not featured as themselves in the game. They're just voice actors for these made up characters. Why not take them as themselves and put them and write them into the game as themselves instead of these made up cringy characters? It's probably some sort of money thing, but who fucking knows, right? Had this game taken on a different name that didn't already have those pre-existing expectations from the previous ones, I think it would have been looked at in a very different light, maybe in a more positive light by different people. But honestly, there's just no excuse for the god-awful writing. Just mute the game and play some music over it. I mean, if you want to try it, it's free. The microtransactions are limited to cosmetics, and I think at the very least, if you're interested, you should give this a shot if you haven't already. It is important to note that some of the issues I mentioned have already been addressed. It's all in the early access map. There's a new co-op game mode that's going to be added. Party voice chat's going to be on the way. Quality of life improvements, blah, 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 blah. And of course, Skate is not a full release yet, so it has the potential to change and grow based on feedback. But I personally don't have much faith in EA and what they have done with games in the past. So unfortunately, I don't know if they're going to be able to make the changes viable, listen to the community to make this a successful game. But I do hope that they prove me wrong. Although unfortunately, I don't think it's likely they'll change the writing. So again, play that shit on mute and add some background music. And if you don't like the way that it looks, just don't play it overall. I think it looks fine. It's cartoony, it's an art choice, but there's a lot of people complaining about the way that it looks. I get it. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like it. It does help me out a ton. And of course, if you want to see more videos like this in the future, don't forget to subscribe down below. I had a pretty sick, nasty Borderlands 4 First Impressions video come out recently if you want to check that out. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.